Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear Facebook friends, viewers, and the people who are watching me on the YouTube. I am very much thankful to you all because the subscription rate of my channel has reached so high, and I expect more and more. Uh, After a long time, I am before you, rather in front of you, with the help of these modern day gadgets. I mean to say the mobile phones, and later on you will see this video on YouTube and Facebook as well. What I have decided to discuss with my friends and colleagues today, it's something which is related with teachers, not with students, but ultimately what is learned or what is there in the knowledge of a teacher automatically gets transformed into the knowledge store of a learner. So, being a student of the language myself, I every time try to go on the similar track. That means I wish to tell my counterparts or the colleagues of my department or the profession about just one subject, that is the language English. Being a teacher or being teachers, what we must do. There are so many phases, like when we go for the professional courses like B.Ed, M.Ed, what we are being taught is to know about the lesson planning. So, the same thing has come into my mind tonight, and I wish to make you know about one of the most important phases of pre lesson planning. That is, once we sit at home in order to prepare the lesson that we are supposed to deliver by tomorrow in our classroom. So far as the language is concerned, as teachers, we must know that I when I prepare in the lesson, uh, we have to be clear about two things. Number first, whether I am going to add something to the knowledge of the students, or I am going to develop or sharpen the skill of my learners. Because so far as this or any language is concerned, no doubt that we can add to the knowledge that is already there with the students. We can add something new to it, or we are just going to develop or sharpen the skill. By skill is we mean to say listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So, number first thing, while we prepare the lesson at home, we need to be clear. We need to have some sort of target or an objective or a goal within our minds, that whether I am going to develop any particular skill within the students, or I am going to add something into their knowledge. So, today I am not discussing about developing or increasing in the knowledge of the learners. Rather, I am talking about one of the basic four skills, that is writing skill. So, first of all, we must have a clear cut meaning, or we must have a clear cut explanation, we must have a clear cut clarification, and we must have a sort of sense. We must be knowing about what writing is. What in common language, what in common sense we call writing, we simply, most of the teachers to whom with I have encountered, when I asked some of the teachers, what do you mean by writing? They just told me what I understood was that that was not the real meaning or the concept of writing. In fact, that was copying. For example, when I write something on the paper, when I write something on the paper, then I ask my students to pen it down. They just copy the line that I have written above. They are just copying it below. But so far as writing is concerned, it means once some thoughts come in my mind, once I wish to put down or pen down those thoughts with the help of this pen on the paper, that means writing. For example, we see the people writing for newspapers, we see people writing for journalists, we see people writing books, so on and so forth. and this skill is simply known as writing skill. So, in the beginning phase, for example, at the primary level, what as teachers we shall be doing once we wish to sharpen the skill of writing among our students? There are two strategies. One is controlled and guided planning or strategy, and other is totally different from it. Let us first talk about controlled and guided strategy of developing the writing skill among our students. So, what we shall do? For example, as teachers, we wish to develop a writing skill among the students of third, fourth, and fifth primary, because in the very first two formal classes, I mean to say the first primary and the second primary, our focus is totally different. We do wish our students to do this sort of an activity. If we are doing that sort of an activity, I don't think it is so suitable in those two classes. But once the student is there in the third primary of our primary classes, there we can think about this, that our students must have this concept within their mind, so that once they reach the fourth primary, this skill might have started growing or developing up. So, first thing, that is controlled writing. In controlled type of writing, all that our teachers need to do is to make a sort of fill in the blank pattern or fill in the blank type of an exercise, wherein we can ask our students, for example, this is dash book, or this dash a book. Then we will provide one or two words within the brackets. We will ask our students to fix or to fill the blank with the most suitable word. This type of an exercise is known as controlled writing skill development strategy. I would like to repeat this thing, that is, once we wish to initiate the process of development of writing skill, the beginners must be given a ready-made sort of solution, wherein they will be asked to take one word from the brackets and then put that word into the space, so that once they will do this type of exercise, they will make least mistakes with the help of that is known as controlled, wherein we are just trying to um, inculcate, wherein we are just trying to drop this seed of writing skill within the minds of the blooming buds. Later on, the next stage, the next phase, the next strategy, what we shall be doing as teachers, we will have to make a sort of clue type of a thing, wherein students will follow that clue and they will do the exercise so as to develop or to sharpen their writing skill. For example, let me write a write up, let me write a paragraph wherein I will keep some spaces, then I will uh, provide some colors with these brackets, then I will provide some pictures underneath of that write up or that paragraph, and then I will ask my students to fill those blanks, to fill those gaps with the help of those clues. For example, the dash dash was on the tree. At this stage, our students will be able to identify that the monkey was on the tree. They can identify it from the pictures. They can identify the color from the pictures. Then they can automatically set these words within the spaces. This type of an exercise is known as a guided type of writing. Later on, this is totally under the control of the tutor, under the control of the teacher, and this will shift gradually from the teacher towards the students. In the next phase, once I wish that my students or the students who have gone through these two phases will now be able to write down something on their own. So I will ask the students to be in a group wherein I will ask them to write about something for example, for a football, or about their school, or about their teacher, or about their parents, or about their home, and I will expect that some of the students will surely make some mistakes, and there I will have to provide the sort of helping hand to students so that I will develop. I will try to develop their this writing skill. Once these phases will pass on, automatically the students might have reached to the next stage of their schooling, that is known as a secondary stage, ninth and 10th. In those classes, the students' understanding level is expected to have reached to the heights, if not that much high, at least to that extent where they can write on their own some sentences and some paragraphs as well. But at this stage, a good teacher has to do one more thing. He has to teach their teach about writing a paragraph, and what a paragraph is, and how it is written, what is the meaning of the paragraph, and this is a totally different thing. This is totally different topic. We will discuss it in the next lecture. Till then, goodbye. Allah Hafiz.